Have you thought about where you wanted to be in life and have no direction? Well, you are in the right place. You are tuned into another epic episode of Triona the Trillionaire podcast with your spiritual health coach, Triona the Trillionaire. Become more aligned, enlightened, and abundant in all areas of your life. She got the hair care, she got the health, and she has the wealth topics for you.
Hi, Heirs, and welcome back to the Triona the Trillionaire podcast. I am so excited to be back. I am jumping for joy right now because I have been thinking about you all, and I'm like, I have to do my podcast. They need to hear my voice. I'm missing it. It's really inspired action when I step and take the leap of faith of talking on the podcast. And it's just so crazy because I was listening to my podcast today and I was like, I really enjoy listening to myself. And I was thinking to myself, like, let me just post these podcasts and get this out here so I can practice my voice and me speaking and me showing up. However, I was actually delivering some good gems and people really resonated with that. You guys really resonated with those things. So I have so much great news for you all. So many good testimonies. I am just in a better spot strategically to bust out my podcast. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be super hard on myself and try to do them every single week. However, I believe every single month is very doable. So I will be putting my focus in on other projects. So you guys are in for a treat. I'm excited. I kind of want to say it already before I, go to the next phase, but I'm just going to zip my mouth a little bit and I'm just going to wait till everything unfolds. Okay. So I have something special for you all today. I got an inclination. I got a word. I got a prophecy from one of my cousins. And she was like, why don't you just do a Proverbs every day or a Psalms every day? And I was like, you know what? A Psalms every day would be really good. And I was thinking, one of my favorite verses, like I've said on this show, is Psalms 1. However, I was like, I already said that. So I was like, let me do a Proverb. So when I opened my book up today and did the Proverbs, I was like, this is what my podcast is about. Helping people discover their purpose in life, amongst other things, because spiritual alignment, heirism, being rich in spirit and in truth, things like that is what I say on the podcast. If you are new, thank you for joining us and joining into the community. We are so happy to have you. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay. So I'm grabbing my Bible right now, and this is my actual Bible. Y'all hear the pages. Come on now. Y'all hear these thin little pages. Okay. So Proverbs 1, we're going to look at verse 2. So go ahead. Y'all can pause the podcast. Or y'all can just listen to me because you might be in your car. You might be in a bubble bath. You might be suzzed up right now. So you probably won't have access. However, this really stood out to me, and I'm going to read the verse and I'm going to read the definition for the verse as well. Proverbs 1, verse 2. The title is Purpose. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. Let me read it again. Proverbs 1:2. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive. That perceive means understand or discern the words of instruction. The words of understanding, not instruction. To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity is the next verse. Let me not get ahead of myself because I really just want to dissect verse 2. And I'm not a prophetess. I'm not a minister. I am an everyday woman just like you. A mom, I work, all this type of stuff. So do not get it twisted. This is just from my understanding to you guys. Y'all can let me know. Y'all can drop questions in the chat. Y'all can DM me at Triona the Trillionaire on Instagram and let me know, like, hey, I got a different understanding from that. What do you think about this point of view or this perspective? However, I am going to read the key notes. So verse 1 is like the basic Hebrew word of Proverbs, which means comparison. And then when we get to the key of 2, it starts out in bold with wisdom. Wisdom is the key word of the book and basically means skill in living. It is used in the Old Testament to refer to a physical skill such as tailoring, metalwork, woodwork, spinning, engraving, and designing, and warfare. These are some things that you all might be good at right now. It is also used metaphorically, as in Proverbs, it refers to the skill to live life successfully. And I want to say that again. It refers to the skill to live life successfully. Don't we all want to live in this life successfully? What does successful mean to you? Is it happiness? Is it feeling great every day? Is it leading with joy? Is it not having any financial barriers? Is it having spiritual alignment? Is it being one with God? What is successful to you? Define success. And then it goes more and says, instruction refers to moral discipline of one's life, not to the classroom instruction. And then understanding means the capability to distinguish between true and false, good and bad, what matters most and what does not matter at all. I think that is just a key verse. I want y'all to go ahead and look at your Proverbs. And Paris, the billionaire, is calling me right now. So let me answer this call. I'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. That was just an important phone call. I'm so happy that I did not miss that phone call, because I was just going to be like, I'm going to finish my podcast. I just got really, really great news from Perry B, the billionaire. And that just goes to show the alignment that I am in right now and operating in flow. And when I say inspired action, I'm not saying don't do it because you don't feel like doing it right now. I'm saying once you feel the urge to do something, go ahead and do it right then. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. If a thought comes in your head, like, I should do this right now, or this would be a good idea, I'll write it down later. No, go ahead, grab your notebook, write it down, because you might forget that idea. So I just want to encourage my heirs to go after what it is you want. Side note, there was so many blockages that I had to overcome. And I talked previously about some of these things, but there were a few other things that I had to let go of. And that was the opinions and the opinionation. I think I just made up a new word. Let's put it in the dictionary, y'all. Drum. The opinionation of the different people. I won't say some of the things on the podcast because it does give me a negative mind frame around some of those things, but overcoming those barriers and facing adversity. You guys don't know why I stopped the podcast. I didn't have a big announcement saying, oh, I'm gonna stop the podcast right here, right now. There was multiple things, win, cue that song, that happened and transpired. It doesn't necessarily have to be something bad that happens. I just had to pivot my focus to execute an idea I was working on. And now I am in perfect alignment for things to just start flowing naturally to me. And I'm like, wow, I've been thinking about this idea and trying to do this idea for 4 whole years. Now I got an inbox, an email directed to me. I'm like, how did these people find me? However, it was in strategic alignment, divine timing. And I was like, you know what? Wow, that is amazing. Everything might be falling out of place for everything to fall in place. And sometimes I will overwhelm myself like, oh, I have to teach X, Y, Z. I have to do A to Z class. But like I said earlier, you might just be 5 steps behind me or 10 steps behind me. I can really just put out what I know how to do and teach you guys, my heirs, how to do that. And I'm just like, I just make it so hard for myself to actually execute the idea that I have, because I'm thinking about 20 different modules that I can put into here instead of just starting with my first module. Go ahead, put that first module out, do that first podcast, figure it out, Google it, Google your idea, make sure you get that trademark. And I just applied for my trademark today. My logo has been made since 2014 or 2015. I put 2015 on there just to be sure, because I know I was pregnant with Liliana, but I started fitness in 2014 for sure. And I was doing that the last year of schooling for me, and I started to do tours. If you don't know, I was Triona the trainer before I became the Triona the Trillionaire, but it just all stems from the same thing of align, divine, timing, and your purpose here on earth. Or, you know, one of the things that, or one of the components that make you. And that was one of the things, me training, and I did not want to keep putting myself in a box like, oh, I'm just this trainer. Oh, I have to go hard. I got to show my clients the best workout ever. Some people were intimidated by me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a step back. I'm gonna do 2 to 3 exercises instead of trying to give you guys 10 exercises. And then I'm gonna maximize the sets and the reps and the time. And I had to even take a step back from the fitness industry because I was so focused on being a perfect coach, so focused on being the best trainer in the world, that I did not set up the AI in my back end system. And I see that as helping businesses and business owners. They don't even have their back end set up correctly to sustain or to get new prospects, to sustain the clients that they do have and to service the clients that they do have. How are you going to get incoming clients if you do not have a back end to withhold? You don't have the servers. You don't have the capacity. You do not have the capacity, but you're over promising and under delivering every single time. And I see this, and this is a big mistake. And so many people go through the loopholes. So many prospective clients go through the loopholes and fall through the cracks. So I said I had to take a step back from the fitness industry. Instead of just creating content every single day, pictures, videos, workouts, live streams, I was live every single day in my challenge groups. Every single day I would go live. Every single day I would do a tea time with Tree, and then I would do a live workout. I would be posting 3 to 4 times in the group my meals, what they should eat. I was responding right back to the clients. And yes, that was a great client experience because I wanted to give my clients a great experience. However, I was burning myself out in the process because I did not have these back end AI systems set up to go ahead and just email, automated email that was in a systematic format toward their target. I will email each individual person a personalized email. And that's how I was trying to separate myself from other trainers. However, I wouldn't be able to take on 20, 30, 100 more people. Because if 100 more people email me, someone will fall through the cracks. I probably wouldn't see it. And it was literally just me. My mom would help me with my business. My sisters would help me take pictures and do videos and content create. My brothers would work out with me. I was literally thinning away because I was working out 3 to 4, sometimes 5 times a day. And I didn't realize I was working out. But when I was demonstrating the exercise to my clients, I was still working out. So I had to take a step back and say, let me stop being the perfect coach and the perfect trainer. I've done that for 4 years, being the top trainer, and I've gotten so many results. Let me go ahead and be a great business owner and be strategic and have magnetic marketing. And let me define my messaging. Let me continue to reach out to my client avatar. I always have my client avatar: moms, entrepreneurs, busy teachers, people who work a 9 to 5 and may not find the time. I have literally put a 15-minute workout every single day. It does not go over 15 minutes. So you have no excuse. And I thought this, I was like, you know what? I got a 9 to 5. I was like, I'm going to test it out. And I was like, you know what? It is definitely harder than I thought, but it's not impossible. Get up 15 minutes earlier. Get up 30 minutes earlier so you can make sure you take a shower, wash your hair, whatever you need to do. I started getting up at 5, and that was my dream desire, to wake up at 5. Let me wake up at 5. This is what the millionaires do. Every single millionaire doesn't do that, but I think that worked for me. So I'm literally off of like 3 hours of sleep right now, which is working for me because I'm taking inspired action. I'm like, I got so much stuff done. I drank some matcha probably at like 3 p.m. yesterday. 3 p.m. yesterday while I was going to get Liliana, and I was like on a roll. I was playing with her outside. I was doing her homework with her. We were doing sight words. We were doing a spelling test and things like that. We did not read to the kids yesterday because it was Bible study. So after Bible study, and it was Valentine's Day, but I don't celebrate. So that's a whole different topic. We're going to get on that one of these days. So I did all that, and then after putting her to sleep, getting her to sleep, taking me a bath, taking her a bath, all that stuff, I was like locked in. And I said, certain things have been lifted off my life. So I was able to really lock in and get so much done, which also prepared me for the next day. So this morning, I wrote it on my social media today. I worked out. I took her to school. I applied for my trademark. What else did I do? Let me look at my social media. I posted on social media. I fulfilled one order. I was excited about just getting one order. In order to get 100 orders, 1,000 orders, I have to be excited about one order, and I have to appreciate that one client, just like that one client was 10 clients. Because like I said earlier, sometimes businesses are not set up to have the capacity to take on 1,000 orders at a time. I will literally have to do 1,000 orders all by myself, and I'll have to call my sister, my baby sister. Hey, can you help me pack these orders real quick? We got an influx today. So, and then, I read my Bible. And I listened to my own podcast, like I stated on here. I'm recording this podcast right now, but all of this stuff was done by 10 a.m. And then I started doing my podcast. We're here at 2 p.m. right now. All of this is going to be done before I go pick my daughter up for school. And I am so happy. I'm so appreciative that I'm in this space right now that I'm in, to be able to give back to you all and to show you how to make your side hustle, how to make your side hustle your main hustle, how to create more revenue and income for your family. If you're sitting at home and you just don't know what to do, I was in your same shoes, in your same position. Like, what do I do? How can I do whatever? I mean, I can't sing, I can't dance, but I can create an ebook. I can create a podcast. I can create a really good structured email list. I can still work out. I can post some videos and some DVDs. I can sell Lily Rose lip scrub and hair oil. There's so many things that we can do that we fail to realize. I can teach someone right now how to run a podcast and show them how the step-by-step instruction to doing a podcast and get paid for that. I can create an app. I can do that. So you just need to go ahead, sit down with yourself, figure out what you are good at. Before people told you were bad at anything, what are you good at? What can you do? Are you a notary? $50 to become a notary. I am actually a notary as well, and I just don't even use it. However, if someone needs something notarized, I can charge you for it. I can show you how to become a notary. Like I feel like I'm a great teacher. But I also had to sit with myself and sit down to execute on my ideas, because I am one blessed individual. God gives me ideas, and I'm telling you, I cannot produce all of these ideas. So the best thing for me to do is create a business and be in the business making industry. I can give you guys some of my ideas and you can execute the idea. I'm excited already for you guys because I know that it's possible. I can give you an idea, and I'm pretty sure one of you guys one of my hairs can just go ahead and execute the ideas and be making $100,000, $1 million. That's how powerful my ideas are. And I do use a technique called meditation. So when I come out of my meditation, which is the most peaceful part of my day, I come up with a perfect idea. And then I imagine the person, even myself, a family member, someone that can execute on that idea. And I can just get like 10% of the business. I mean, I did give you the idea, but I can help you structure that idea. So anyways, let me wrap this up because I can go all day about talking about this business stuff. That's why I was like, let me create a business. My business was fitness and is fitness. Well, you can have multiple businesses, but I suggest that you just do one thing at a time. So fitness, and I said, let me show people how to build an audience, how to be the billboard. I was the walking billboard. I am the walking billboard. After I had my baby, people say 2 days later I had abs. I didn't have abs 2 days later, guys. I really didn't. Anyways, so I said, let me create a business to teach people how I created that business. Me doing fitness was never my end goal. However, it's something very, very special dear to my heart, something that I use daily. And yeah, you can do that too. So I did want to tell you guys, I released another book in my mother's name. My mother did leave this document with her children. So these are not my words. These are not my scriptures. This is nothing I put in there, even though I do be like, this is a good idea. I should really add that. But she gave me a series of how she wanted these things set up. And they are in the Blessed and Highly Favored Planning a New You Planner. We released another book. This is like the volume 2. And I released a notebook to go along with it. It just has the same cover. It's really beautiful. I really love it. I think this one is better than the last one. Even though it's just minor changes, we just cleaned it up a little bit. I think it's better. We added the Beauty Inside Now poem by Chanel Ross in there. And I think it's something to have. And I wanted to make it into a spiral bound. But I think you having a book, you're never going to throw that book away. Like, people don't throw books away. They'll give the book away, but those books will just be collecting dust. Anyways. Yes, I will link that in the show notes. And I am still coming out with more exciting news, but I'm just going to give you guys bit by bit by bit. I'm not going to say anything because when I say it, it's set in stone and people are like, oh, I remember you said this. And I'll be like, oh, that was a good idea that I had. Why didn't you guys remind me earlier? So if you're listening to this podcast, know that you're blessed and continue to be a blessing to others. Okay. I love you all.